Hi, it's Steve here from KME again, and we're here looking at the Portman standards, the upgrade to the factory car, or the repairs for the factory car that Geoff Portman ran. And we're here with the current owner, and the current man is repairing it, so we'll just walk in and have a talk to them. So I'm here with Graham Symons, who is the owner of the car, and Graham, you want to tell us why you're doing it?
Probably because I'm stupid, Steve. No, I just thought it needed to be saved.
Yep.
I know the fellow that had it, Phil Pilven, he wanted to restore it, and I think he just ran out of time and lost a bit of interest, and other things became a little bit more important. So, as luck would have it, we just wandered into his shed one day when he had all the bits and pieces for sale, and
suggested to you that it'd be a really good buy.
Well,
can he do a deal for you?
Well, he told me it'd be worth more than the V6 Navara Ute that we just put a deposit on.
Oh, okay.
So after flying back to WA and thinking about it, I probably agreed with him and cancelled the Ute and made him a deal, and he took me up on the deal, and well, here we are.
And it's looking really good. We'll do a walk around in a minute and have a good look at it. There'll be some stills up as well. And the guy who's actually doing the work is Laurie Wilson. And Laurie, you want to walk over here? There you are, man.
Yeah.
You can tell us how easy it's been.
It's been up to date. It's been 18 months of fairly steady work. I enjoy doing these old cars. I used to rally similar sort of things years ago, and I appreciate what it is.
What it is, yeah.
And that's
well, there's
why
very
I like
few
doing them.
factory standards in Australia.
Yeah.
How many is there? Two.
Two.
Okay.
Include this one.
Yeah.
And
that's counting this one.
Yeah.
And I've done the previous one.
Okay, so you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
Which is why I got the job for this one, because a few people looked at it, and they wanted to restore it, but they didn't want to restore it in the way that I wanted it restored.
Yeah.
They wanted to make it into a brand new car.
Oh yeah.
And I never ever wanted to set out for it to be a new car, because it just wasn't.
No, you make it do that and you'll lose the authenticity of the car.
Yeah, well, Graham said to me he wanted the patina of the car as an ex-works car to show that it's been used.
Yeah. And underneath there's still a few scars that we didn't bother about fixing, just for that reason.
Deep scores in the floor where it's gone off the road and run over rocks and logs and things. It's still there.
So when Laurie got the car was in a fairly bad state. It had a lot of rust and had a lot of damage to it, Laurie, or just mainly rust?
I think it was mainly rust. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, the front had a fair bit of damage. Did the rails and stuff like that. Probably thanks to that big jump that Duncan did at the cross.
Okay, so the car had a red bonnet underneath from factory, yeah?
Yeah, the car basically, when it came down this, well, as far as we can work out, as far down as the assembly line I came, this car was originally completely red.
Oh.
So hence why it's still got red underneath the boot lid and in the boot. Also underneath here was red. Originally,
but it ran like this when it was a factory car?
Originally it would have ran in the European, originally it did run in the European colour, I call them the European colours, but the Japanese works colours.
Right.
The first time it came out for the cross in '79, which it finished second.
Right.
With Geoff Dunkerton, with
Ross
Dunkerton driving it. It got second, and the following year in 1980, which was the last cross, they actually won the cross in this car.
Okay.
There's a bit of conjecture about whether this was the car that did win the cross, and we were able to prove that with paperwork we got from Japan and the body number and a few other things.
Yeah, okay.
Other things like that. So this was, I believe, one of the one of their attempts at their lightweight shells.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see by the hole saw holes through the doors, through the dash. The bonnet's actually fiberglass, and this all came out of the factory from a Palmer when they turned it into a rally car. The rear doors are fiberglass. However, to look at them, you probably wouldn't realise that until you actually touch them. Or
So that's fiberglass now there?
Yep. So give them a bit of a tap. They were fully fiberglass, apart from the top.
Yeah, metal.
Yeah, window hangers.
Yep.
It's
Definitely fiberglass, yeah.
You can see it's all glass.
So this boot lid is fiberglass?
Yeah, it's the fiberglass, and you see there's a cutout here, but that's when the boot lid comes down. I think the Australians actually modified that because that enables the spare wheel to now sit in here, which you can see why that's all been beaten out.
Yep.
To take the SP45.
And also
Sits up in there.
the boot hinges, have a look at that.
Yep.
Nothing was spared. Everything that could be could get a hole drilled in it, got a hole drilled in it.
Yes, they've even drilled out the backs of the door hinges as well. You can't see that because they've been placed on the car. But yeah, even the door hinges out the back of them have been drilled. So take a bit of weight out of them.
And then we've got the parcel shelf.
Yep. And the other thing that we found unique to this car, and I haven't seen on any other cars, even the cars in Japan that we went to have a look at, is the rear window doesn't have a heating element in it.
Oh, okay.
Totally clear.
Yeah, okay.
So, and I looked at the cars in Japan. They all had the heating element. So I don't know whether that was just a fluke that they put a glass in out of the factory that didn't have an element or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't have one, and it's definitely the original glass because it has the Nissan logo on it. Same with all the pretty much all the glass in the car apart from the front windscreen is original Datsun. Has the Nissan logos on it. Yeah, the bonnet, we were sort of deciding what to do with it. Laurie wasn't too happy with the bonnet because it's not quite perfect, but I wanted to keep the bonnet because it was the original one, so if it doesn't look that flash, it's not Laurie's fault, it's mine.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
It's original. It's far more important being original than being perfect.
So pretty much all the hang-on panels, apart from the two front guards, were the original panels that came out of Japan. That came from Japan when they originally built the car.
Wow.
So, and there was one original guard on it, and one wasn't, and they were pretty shabby. So I relented with Laurie with that one, and we put two better guards on it, and just rolled them like they were from the factory. And there's no difference in them. They weren't light or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't feel that was a big drama.
Oh, thank you, Graham. And we'll get along when there's a bit more done.
Yep.
And it'll probably leave this workshop and go back to yours, I suppose.
Yep. Yeah, probably next time we said it'll be up in Bendigo.
Thanks, Graham. And Laurie's out doing something, so oh no, there he's walked back in. Thanks, Graham, and thanks, Laurie, for sharing your work and workshop and so on. And we'll have a look at it all when it's all a bit further down the track.